Okay, now we play against our friend Tringov.
Well, in this time, Tringo was the best Bulgarian grandmaster and their champion, of course. And the game will be very important theoretically because I tried to improve, finally successfully, a well-known game lost by Petrosian with white against Bobby.
Hmm.
So I tried to play better with white, and we'll see the result. What
The
happens
same
in our
variation,
game?
but it's the same Tringov who played Bobby in.
Well, he played against Bobby, the Sicilian, the well-known Sicilian in Havana. We showed already.
The
He was a very strong grandmaster, but
was the Capablanca Memorial, right?
yeah, right. Yeah. So C5, this is one of the main lines from the Tarrasch defense, the so-called Tarrasch defense. It's very tactical, but black has to, he tries to free himself very quickly in this line with black, you see. Okay, knight f3, look, is symmetrical, everything, you see. And here is move by move again. A3 is the main alternative. If not, white takes immediately in d5. This is the other line. See? To play against the Isolani. If black takes back with the pawn in d5, finally we have the Isolani later on. It's not too much for white, but white is a little bit better all the time. We have many games. I played against Albert, a very important game, the US Championship, and then against Valls, and so we showed already, meantime. Okay, A3. 94. That was the game from Bobby against Petrosian, Bobby with black. So here you have to be very careful how to do it, how you do it with white, because it's move by move. The problem is one tempo for white or for black, which makes the difference. So white has to play the most normal line where he has a very slight edge.
Like to win a tempo or to lose a tempo.
Yeah, to win a tempo or lose a tempo. That makes the difference. You see. So that was until here everything is theory. Okay, bishop d3. Bishop knight takes, and he played bishop e7. Okay, normal. And here castle, yeah. And here queen c2. All right, queen c2 wins a small tempo, which is not too much, but okay. He has to play h6 or g6. He didn't like g6 because has a small weakness later on in h6 maybe. The bishop can come to h6. All right. All normal position until here. h6. Now I played bishop b2 to provoke this line with knight a5, you see. So okay, he played knight a5 to force you to take in d5 and hope to have the control of the white squares on the queen side, black, and show that the bishop from b2 for the moment doesn't play too much, So okay, he took back, and I play knight e5. From here is the initiative. The initiative is coming very quickly for white because he had to play h6. If he didn't, he wasn't forced to play h6. He had the possibility to play f6. Maybe it was alright, but here f6 is not good at all. He loses immediately, After bishop h7 check, king h8, knight g6 check, and finish.
Pardon, if he plays f6,
f6, well, it's very bad. It's like a Schweitzer, the position from black,
Mm-hmm.
But he's lost immediately in 2-3 moves. Bishop h7 check, everything is forced.
Okay.
Yeah, and then knight g6 check with tempo and finished.
Okay.
Okay, so, all right, he can't play this, no?
Yes.
All right. He took knight e5, and here, bishop d6. All right, f4. Now, if you want to get rid of this knight, you have to give the black bishop. And white is clearly better. All right, he gave the bishop. Okay, I took, and now he plays c4. Until now, it seemed that black did the right moves,
Yeah.
Okay, white is better. It's it's very pleasant to play with white, such a position, but you have to do something very quickly, So check is very important now there. And what did I play? Rook f4. Now, what is the problem now? White wins a very important tempo because you can't play in good conditions g6. If you could play g6, it's very good for black. But he's lost if he plays g6 because white gives the beer. Plays simply rook f1 and decisive attack. If you take the bishop from h7, you are mate. For instance, rook f1, g6, rook f1, king takes, rook takes with check. You have to take, check, king h8, yeah, queen takes g6, mate.
Yeah.
Threatens 3 mates in the same time.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, very easy. So if he can't play g6, white is coming all the time. Very strong initiative. But still, you have to demonstrate how. Yeah? All right. So rook there. Well, finally, white could do everything. Preparing the
The attack.
the next part of the game. All right. Queen e7. He is waiting, of course. No? And here, bishop back. But now it's clear. If he takes in f5, white can take with the queen or with the rook, threatening already e4 or queen f2. Very strong initiative for white. Because the bishop, for the moment, is a little bit inactive in b2, but white has control on the king side and on the central squares. So black
why?
has to.
But why?
You will see why. Finally,
if-
white comes to e4 later,
Mhm.
and that will be very important.
For the black bishop, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Next. Okay. Rook d8. Until now, black defended very well. And here e4. Okay. Now it's clear why. Now, if you take in f5, white can take back with the pawn, and that is decisive because if he pushes up towards f6, you can resign. So what to do? You have to take yourself in d5, in e4. But now it's another story. Now you see, white has the two bishops, very strong center, and in some positions, if he can move a little bit the pawns, everything is finished. Okay, bishop. I mean, he has to control the central squares. The only counterplay. Okay, now the bishop wants to come on the other side. To attack. So knight c6 very quickly, and now what to do? A4. Prepare some idea with queen a2 and bishop a3 in some lines.
Okay.
You see?
Yes.
The queen attacks the pawn from c4, and the bishop comes to a3, decisive. So what to do? King h8, no? I mean, he took in e4, I took with the queen. And now it's clear because the threat was already, a little bit too much. White is complete control. If has one move, I mean, to play e6 or d5, finished. So, okay, now what to do? He played rook e8. And he lost the pawn. I mean, he lost the pawn by queen there. And here, not only that he lost the pawn, but white is preparing the final blow with bishop a3 later on.
But here he couldn't defend the pawn with
He
the.
could defend, but how? To play queen e6 now?
Yes.
Queen e6. Yeah, after queen e6, pardon. If he plays queen e6, maybe white can take in e6. No. Sure. Takes with the rook, d5. Finish.
Okay. Yes.
Well, white is winning also with bishop a3 is enough.
Yes.
If he loses the pawn from f7, it's terrible. So, okay, what did he play? He played king g8. Okay, but he lost the pawn, and the rest of the game is very easy. Now, white continues the attack. Queen a2, changed the idea, but is threatening decisively bishop a3. Okay, here black could resign already, Okay, the game continued with knight d8, but now he loses the exchange. So queen there and d5. Now the rest is forced. He has to take there. Bishop takes f8, he takes now. And what? c4. Now look, he lost the exchange, the attack continues, and white has the central pawn, d, wins always, even in some positions where he didn't lose the exchange. But the exchange down is much too much.
So the pass pawn D is very strong.
Usually that decides most of the cases. So all right, b6, and what did I a5, queen there, I took there in b6, he took. check, and what? Rook e4, and here he resigned, no?
He resigned, yes.
Yeah. Nothing to do, because after knight b7, for instance, rook e7 wins immediately. Rook e7.
Okay.
Loses everything, you see.
Yeah.
But everything with tempo, you see. Everything with tempo, because strategically white had a clear edge immediately after the opening. So we could improve the game Petrosian Fischer, and we could demonstrate that white has a clear edge in this line. Theoretically, it was okay. Finally, everybody played with pleasure this line for white, for a certain time.
So, if, for example, if he did this, you take, I guess. You take.
No. Well, this is also winning after rook d7, because you force him to take in c4, and you have time to take in f7, and okay, finished. But you can move the queen. Also
You can move the
winning,
queen and continue the attack.
Yeah, of course.
True.
Rook queen e2, for instance, finished.
Yes.
But this is also enough, because now after knight e5, rook takes g7 check. Everything with tempo, Well, every endgame is completely winning. But endgame is almost made here. You see all the time. So for instance, king f8. King f8, okay, rook, move the rook somewhere. If you play rook c7 wins, but rook b7 is much stronger. Now you're threatening with the two rooks on the sevens. There's no way for black to play something.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.